Yes, greetings. So today I want to demonstrate to you people how we go about finding or identify a short to ground, right? Or locate a short to ground in a circuit. So what we have here for our demonstration is a simplified horn circuit, a simple horn circuit, and this 2000 Hyundai motor vehicle here. Alright, so the problem that we really have is that each time the horn button is depressed, right, this 10 amp fuse here blows, right? So looking at the circuit, analyzing the circuit, we see we have this 4-pin relay here, right? So this 4-pin relay, right, is fed power at pin 5 via this 10 amp fuse. So this is the fuse that keeps on blowing each time the horn button is depressed, right? It also feeds power to the coil side of the relay. All right. So remember that a short circuit occurs whenever we have a power carrying wire or a live wire touching ground. For example, so we just right. So let's say this wire here is touching ground right there, or this side of the fuse here is touching ground. So the fuse would blow because of the excessive amount of current that is flowing through the circuit, people. All right. So doing a little bit of critical thinking now, a little bit, all right, and analyzing the circuit. Remember that I said that the fuse only blows whenever the horn button is depressed, right? So if we had our shorter ground right here on this leg of the circuit, right also, right, this fuse would have been blowing constantly, right? So as I put in a new fuse, the fuse would blow. But however, right, when we replace this fuse and put in the fuse only blow when the horn button is depressed. So what that is telling me that the short to ground has to be on this side of our circuit, right over here. Alright, so if we look at our circuit here, right, so we're going to focus our attention on this side of the circuit, this side. Alright, so the ground for the horn, right, is this black wire here. Alright, so the live wire, right, or the positive side of the horn circuit here is this brown wire, right, coming from pin number 3 in the relay socket. Alright, so this dotted box right here is telling us that there are more components that is around this horn relay, and this horn relay is inside the fuse box in the engine compartment, as you can clearly see right here. So how are we going to do our testing? Alright, so this is how we're going to go about it. Alright, so we're going to need some test equipment. Alright, so we can use a simple test light here, alright, or a multimeter. So I'll show you how we go about using both. Alright, so what we are going to do, right, we are going to identify and locate our horn relay in the fuse box. Alright, so we're going to pull the horn relay. Alright, we're going to identify pin 3, right, identify or locate pin 3, because this is where we're going to do our testing on. Alright, so what we are going to do, right, we're going to connect our test light. So you're going to place our test light on battery positive. So connect our test light to battery positive, right, to a 12 volt source, and connect our test light to pin number 3. Alright, so in a perfect world, if there wasn't a short circuit, right, connecting our test light to pin number 3 and on to battery positive, the test light should glow. Yes, if there wasn't a short circuit, it would also glow. But what we are going to do, because we know that already, say if there is no short circuit on this brown wire here, the test light will glow. Because what? When I remove the relay, when the relay is removed, we're going to get a ground coming through the horn, right, going up, right, on the brown wire to the spin. Alright, so knowing that firsthand, right, or knowing that beforehand rather, what we are going to do, we are going to remove or disconnect the load from the circuit, remove the horn from the circuit. So in removing the horn from the circuit, right, if there is no short to ground on this brown wire here, my light, right, should not illuminate. But if my light still remains illuminated, right, after I remove the horn from the circuit, then my short to ground, right, is on this leg of the circuit. Right, so what I'm also going to do, before I totally disconnect the horn, what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove the ground, right, from the horn first. Remove the ground wire from the horn first. In removing the ground wire, people, right, in removing the ground wire, I am eliminating the ground, so there will be no more ground going through the horn, right, going up onto this brown wire right there. Again, if there's no short to ground, right, on this brown wire, and let's say the horn is not also shorted to ground, my light should not be illuminated. Alright, should not light. So watch this now. If I remove, right, the ground wire from the horn, right, and the light illuminates, still remains illuminated, right? One of two things, you know. It could either be the horn, right, that is shorted to ground, or this brown wire here is shorted to ground. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to unplug the brown wire. So in unplugging the brown wire now, removing the brown wire from the horn, right, and if the light still remains illuminated, that is saying to me that the horn, right, is good, right, the horn is not shorted to ground, right, my short to ground is on this brown wire here. You follow what I'm saying? Right, so if my short to ground is on this brown wire here, what I would need to do now, I would need to trace, right, or identify where this wire runs. So if you look here, there's only two connecting points for this brown wire here, you know, right, at the horn and at the fuse box. Right, so what I'm going to do, what you would then do now is to trace this brown wire here, follow it through the loom, look at where the wire runs. So down there we have our wire loom, right? So if you notice our wire loom, it runs, right, from there, come down there, right, it goes all the way up there, right? So you're going to look at those contact areas, those areas where the wire loom is rubbing up against, like say, the metal part of the vehicle, and so on. Alright, so if you see a place where it is rubbing up against the motor vehicle, the body of the motor vehicle, and it chafe, right, and have the wire loom, you know, it rubs through, right, and the wire is chafing or whatever, right, then you will have your short to ground point right there. Alright, so I'm going to show you now how we go about identifying it. Alright, so we are going to the fuse box. So going to the fuse box. Alright, so this is our fuse box right here, under hood fuse box, or engine bay fuse box. So we have our fan relay here. Alright, so air conditioning fan relay, alright, or blower motor relay, and this is our horn relay. Alright, so our horn relay is right here. So remove the horn relay. Alright, so remove the horn relay. So we're not looking with the fuse now, remember say yo, right? Our concern is not on this side of the circuit, our concern is on this side of the circuit. Alright? So watch me now. So we need to identify where pin 3 is. Right? So if you look at this schematic here, right? So we should have two power feed going into the relay. Right? And pin 1 and pin 3. Right? At all times. So if you see here, we're hot at all times. So whether the vehicle is on or off, this fuse should be hot, right, at all times. So I'm going to identify my two power feed, pin 5 and pin 1. So when I identify pin 5, I can clearly identify what is pin number 3, because pin 5 and 3 is going to be side by side. Alright, so looking at the relay, so here we have our relay. Alright, segue into lesson on relay. Alright, so this relay here, so let's see, micro relay. Alright, so if you look at our relay, here we have two pins here, two small pins. So these two small pins are our control side of the relay, the coil side. Would have been this side. And then we have these two pins here. Here and here is our load side. So one of them pin here, right, would be going to pin 5. And one of them pin over here also would be going to pin 1. But I don't know which one. Alright, so this is a relay socket thing. Alright, so if you notice, them two pin here would have corresponded with that. Here and here, right, and these two connecting points would have connected or been corresponding to these two pins and the control side of the relay. So at the power feed I want to try to find. So I'm going to connect my test light to what? Battery negative. So when the test light finds a positive source, it should light, just like that. So testing your test equipment first. Alright, so boom, we come here. Alright, so that's the first, that's pin 1. So pin 1 and the relay would have been here. Alright, so over here, so now when you press the horn button, you should get the ground here to energize the relay. Alright, so here, alright, so this is pin 5. Alright, pin 5 or pin 30 if you deal with the Bosch style relay. Alright, so over here, so there would have been no 87. Alright, pin 87. So The camera focus a little bit. Alright? Bam. See it right there? Alright, so remember what I've said now. So if you have a short to ground on this wire, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to remove. So I connect my test light to pin 87. Alright, or pin 5 on the relay on the schematic here. Not pin 5, pin number 3 rather. Right? So if you have a short to ground, right? So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to connect this over here. Alright? To battery positive. Right? The light up. The light should light up if whether we have a short to ground, yes or no. If we had a short to ground, yes, it would light. If there's not a short to ground, yes, it would light. But remember when I state that if there wasn't a short to ground, right, would I get the ground through the black wire here, coming up through the horn, right, going up to the yeah man. So remember I said that yeah, so we'll have ground coming up through the horn here, right, coming up on this brown wire here. Alright, so knowing that, right, so what I'm going to do now, right, to eliminate the alright, so we're going to do a process of elimination now. So what I'm going to do now, as I stated earlier, I'm going to remove the black wire from the horn, which is a ground wire. So I locate the horn located over here. Alright, so as I can see, I've already gone ahead, right, and removed both the wires from the horn. So let me just connect them back, show you what I want. Alright, connecting back brown wire, right, the black wire. Then now we have the brown wire here. So watch this now. When I remove, right, the black wire, if there wasn't a short to ground, right, within the circuit here on this brown wire, my light would have been what? Would have not been lit, right? Would have gone out because what? I have now removed the ground, right? The ground that is coming through the horn. Right, coming up on the brown wire here. So watch this again now. Alright, another thing that we need to take into consideration, the horn itself could be shorted out. So I want to eliminate the horn out of the circuit, right? Because the horn could also be contributing to a short circuit. Alright, so what we are going to do now, right? We're going to remove the brown wire for the horn. If I remove the brown wire, the positive wire from the horn, right? And if the horn was shorted to ground, if the horn was contributing to the short to ground, then the light would have what? The light would have not been lit. The light would have go out. You follow what I'm saying? Right? But the light is still lit. So the light still remain lit. Right? So what it's telling me that is that my what? My short to ground, right, is on the brown wire. This brown wire right here. Right? So what we are going to do now, we are going to trace the wire loop now. So you're going to look, right, and identify where our brown wire is. So looking through the wire loop here, right, searching through, find our brown wires. So one to the brown wires. Right? So, the long and short of it, people, I created the short to ground here just for demonstration purposes. Alright, so I've shorted out this brown wire here to the body of the motor vehicle. So for example now, so what we'd have been doing now, we'd have been looking, so as you can see right here, right, the loom runs against the body of the motor vehicle here. So we want to look at these contact points right here, right? Just here, gently move it, right, and watch the light. If the light goes out while you're moving the loom here, right, then know that I tell you, see, yo, this is the location where your short to ground is. So then now you'd have to open this up now and look for that brown wire, look for where it is chafing up against or rubbing up against the body or some other ground wire in the loom. So right here I've created the short to ground. So removing the short to ground, right, removing it, applying it back, right, so that removing it, applying it back. So that is how you go about finding the short to ground within the circuit. Alright, so again you have to analyze the circuit. So you analyze the circuit, so which side of the circuit your short to ground is on, right, if it is on this side of the fuse or if it is over on that side, to know where you're going to place your test light and so on to do your testing. You follow what I'm saying? Alright, we'll also use the multimeter, and let me show you the multimeter method. Alright, let me show you how to use the multimeter. So the multimeter method now, we'll have to use our continuity set. Alright, so with the multimeter now, alright, to get your multimeter, right? Connect your multimeter to set your multimeter to measure continuity. Alright? So you know, so yo, this is pin number 3 or 87. Right? So you connect this to the body of the motor vehicle. Watch this now. You hear the multimeter beeping? The multimeter should not be beeping. Right? Because if this wire is not connected to or connected to a ground source or the ground or the body of the vehicle some way somehow, the multimeter should not be beeping. So we're having 4 ohms of resistance there. It is beeping. So clearly that this wire is shorted out. Alright? So if I connect back the horn, so again, it is the same process like with the same procedure. The same process will follow like with the test light. Boom. Right? Disconnect your negative wire first from the horn or from the load, whichever load that you are working with. Alright? Boom. Alright, disconnect the power feed to it. Like that. Right? If the multimeter still beeping, still reading resistance on the multimeter. Right, then what the shorted ground has to be on this leg. So what we have done now, just a while ago, eliminate the what? Eliminate the horn. The horn is not shorted to ground, causing a shorted ground. So a shorted ground definitely has to be on this brown wire. Alright? So if the multimeter stopped beeping when we are disconnected both wires from the horn, that tells you what? The horn is the problem. But in this case, it is not the horn because what? We disconnect both wires from the horn, right? And the multimeter still beeping or the test light is still lit. You follow what I'm saying? Right? Because our short to ground somewhere within what? The brown wire. So you locate the brown wire at the wire loom, look where the wire loom runs, right? Identify where it is rubbing up against the motor vehicle or which wire, and you open up the loom, search out that brown wire to find the short to ground. So that short to ground removed. Right? So we locate our short to ground, fix the wire, right? Cut the wires, solder a new wire, heat shrink it up. That's it, people. Right? So the key within this thing is to do a little bit of critical thinking, analyzing the circuit, know where you're going to place your test equipment and what you're looking for. Alright?